frame things by giving you a sense of what are the solutions within the electricity sector that will work best in Georgia, to give you a sense of what scaling those solutions looks like. How much of them do we need to get meaningful points on the board as we work to try and eventually get the state of Georgia to achieve carbon neutrality, to achieve drawdown? So the first solution is large-scale solar, and we could get a 1 megaton reduction in Georgia's annual carbon footprint if we built 10 100 megawatt solar installations plus 36 5 megawatt community solar systems. Rooftop solar would require 295,000 new solar roofs at 5 kilowatts each. The third solution, cogeneration. If 16 factories began to capture their waste energy to generate at least 25 megawatts of electricity, that would yield 1 megaton reduction. The fourth solution, landfill methane. If we saw 4 more typical landfill facilities with 5 megawatt gas to energy systems, that would yield a 1 megaton reduction. And the final solution, demand side response. If we had 187,000 households shift 10% of their peak electricity use to off-peak, 187,000 households would do that.
The mayor of my hometown, our first customer, said, explaining this perhaps more succinctly, he said, "Michael, let me make sure I got this right. You mean at no cost to the city, because you're going to pay for solar panels on our fire stations, recreation centers, and at the sheriff's office where you'll put covered parking canopies. You're going to save us money because the rate for your electrons are less expensive than what we paid for the electrons from the utility." And I get to stand on the front step of City Hall with that photo man taking my picture, telling everybody I gone green. What am I missing? On the left, this is Vladimir Sosnovsky, the founder of Roswell Drywall, which he founded when he came here in 1986. And then I was with our 2.5-year-old daughter, Maya, taking his granddaughter to a swim lesson. And he says, "So tell me about your business. What are some of your constraints?" And I say, one of our real constraints is labor. He says, "Well, we've got labor. I run the largest drywall commercial business in the state." And it's like, "Well, that's great." He says, can you get us in projects? We'd love to expand our business further. And you'll see, but this is the first time he'd ever picked up a 70-pound solar panel with his lead foreman, Leo. And then 6 weeks later on the right, this is Leo's work on the South Bibb Rec Center in Macon, Georgia. So our projects actively are creating long-term careers. It's economic development. And we see it happening every day. We're on Hartsfield-Jackson at the airport with the studies that needed to happen, and at no cost to Signature Aviation, they were able to incorporate renewable power into the built environment, get the lead points they wanted at no cost. And now as you fly in, when coming into the south side of the airport, you'll see this parking canopy. You'll also see that Fire Station 33 on the south side and 40 on the north side, is the city continues its commitment to incorporate renewable power on every structure that can support it. Now today that means solar panels on the roof, which you see here, but tomorrow it's going to be in battery storage, which is a huge component of where we'll expand. And this is what's so important is we go through focusing on what are the next steps that we take in partnership. We are very focused in our business on equity as much as we are on the environment, the economy, it's the community. And we know that as we think about these $16 trillion Goldman Sachs estimates by 2030 is going to be invested in this economy, John. And so as that transition happens, our view is that if we work in partnership, there are 159 counties in Georgia. Every one of them has a drywall business. 7 of them have solar businesses. And so we need to work with our training programs. We need to work with our nonprofit stakeholders, and we need to work with the economic development authorities to help them train, educate, and plan for what all of this is going to be. So I think the research is so exciting. The opportunity in front of us is wonderful.
I find myself often imagining the future, and there's no circumstances under which we have less clean energy on the grid in the future. No circumstances. That is the direction the world is going. I want in 10 years, not 15, because that's the frame that the research team has situated everything around. I want within 10 years, people all across the state of Georgia to be using the word drawdown and talking about the importance of advancing drawdown.